of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are you, sir?
Morning, Seth. Doing great. Thanks.
Now, I hear Nashville's coming to Lincoln. What's going on?
Yeah, tonight is our Nashville night for Third Fridays. We do this. We've done it the last few years. Probably our biggest Third Friday event of the year. It's a collaboration with other businesses and stuff. So it'll be a fun time. It might be a little warm today, but it'll be fun.
Remind us what Third Thursdays is all about.
So the events they started out as family fun events where you can bring your family down and, spend minimal money, $20 or so, and grab something inexpensive to eat, have some fun with the kids, interact with other people. Vendors come and they talk about their organizations, and there's other things that you can purchase and buy and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's really just a fun community event that has really grown over the last several years. I would encourage people to come check it out, especially if you want to tonight. Tonight will give you a really good idea of how great our events are.
Sure. Well, again, remind us what's going on tonight. Nashville night. What does the evening look like? What will be going on?
Yeah, so for Nashville nights, typically on a Third Friday event, we'll have one band, and then we'll have a vendor market and some stuff for the kids, games and bouncy houses. Tonight, it is called Nashville Night because it's supposed to replicate the feel that you may have if you've been down to Broadway Street in Nashville and you walk by and there's multiple bars with bands playing and just different types of environments, and you can stop in, sit down for a while, enjoy it, different types of food available. So it's kind of a mashup of a lot of things, but there'll be a lot going on in those 3 hours.
Very good. So check it out. When do Third Fridays kind of kick off, and what's the what time do they wrap up? How about some of those things?
Yeah, we start closing the streets downtown at 4:00. It takes us a little while to get cars out of there and stuff. And then the event itself actually kicks off around 5:30. And then the bands, I know they'll go tonight until about 10:00. So normally we're done by 8:30. Because this is so big, it goes a little bit longer.
Gotcha. So Third Friday's the second of the year, and one more to come in July, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I know we've got you on the Third Fridays just for that. So very good, Mr. Mayor. Hopefully things go well in the city of Lincoln tonight. Did I miss anything on that you want to put out there for us?
Nope. It'll be a lot of fun. Come down and if you've never been to Lincoln, come join us.
Very good. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us here for this morning. Mr. Mayor, tourism has dominated you and I's discussion the last several visits we've had with you. And again, some more movement out of the tourism side of things. What's the latest?
Yeah, last time we talked, we had talked about the city of Lincoln retaining the hotel motel tax so that we could pursue some tourism initiatives on the city side. And we've continued on with that process. We are working with the Logan County Tourism Bureau because they serve the outlying communities, and we want to be partners in helping preserve what the other communities have received by way of grants and promotion and stuff like that. But we did move forward on our side. We hired a gentleman named Scott McCoy to be our tourism director for the city of Lincoln. Scott's only been with us less than a month, hit the ground running, already doing great things for the city of Lincoln, interacting with businesses. The guy's got more energy than most of us, let's put it that way. And he's very knowledgeable about Route 66. If you don't know who Scott McCoy is, Scott was a former mayor of Pontiac and helped with their Route 66 program. He has been involved heavily and responsible for the Giants up in Atlanta. So if you've seen the Giants Museum that's going on up there, Scott works with Atlanta on their tourism as well. So we felt he was the right fit, very knowledgeable, and we're trying to move in a little bit of a different direction with tourism, and we think that he's the right guy to help us do it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, he was in our past conversations, if I'm remembering right, was more of a consultant for the city. Speak to how it came about that he's now kind of an employee. Is he a full-time employee? What does that look like?
No, he's still a consultant. We do have a contract with him, and it'll be a year-to-year contract. We don't know what the future holds. I anticipate having a long relationship with Mr. McCoy, but you never know what happens in the future. That's just government for you.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're just focusing on having him available, and really working on that relationship and what he's good at. And we've done such a great job already in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Tourism has always been such a big part of Lincoln, just because of obviously the connections to Abraham Lincoln, the many things that go on in the city of Lincoln, all the attractions, the history of the community, all of that, Mr. Mayor. You mentioned Route 66, a huge part of that. I'm curious, what has the response been like to all these changes? Really, in general terms, really all of a sudden changes. What's been the response like? What are people saying?
Well, I think people that are close to the former Tourism Bureau, or I guess I should call it the Logan County Tourism Bureau, people that are close to that and have followed that program, I think there's some people that are skeptical about what we're trying to do at the city. I mean, change is scary, and change is not always a good thing for some people, but we're doing it with the best of intentions to really help grow our community, put Lincoln on the map again, and take advantage of the fact that we got Route 66 coming right through the center of our downtown. So that has been raised some eyebrows. We've had some good conversations with the county and the Tourism Bureau about what the future looks like for them, and we're focusing on that, but we're also heavily focused on what we're trying to get done. And so bringing in Mr. McCoy, there was an article that came out yesterday, and my observation of that article is, and the response is, that people are very excited about this. They're very optimistic about what lies ahead for Lincoln, and time will tell.
How about the relationship with Logan County Tourism? Obviously it's got to be a big blow to them to not have City of Lincoln dollars coming into their coffers. How about that relationship, and how you think where it stands currently?
Yeah, I would say in the beginning there was a lot of things that we needed to work through, and it is a change for the Bureau. They were going through staffing changes at the time that we made the decision that we did. So it wasn't necessarily people getting laid off as a result of our change and things of that nature. But there will be some staffing changes down at the Bureau, because they're changing their program to focus more on the outlying communities. I will say that I've made it a point to remain heavily involved with the Bureau alongside Alderman Downs and Alderman Parrott, who have been representatives on the tourism board for quite a while. So I would just say it's a change. It's a little bit of a different relationship, and we're working through it. And the other dynamic is the city of Lincoln. When we agreed recently, matter of fact, this week we voted to provide $30,000 in funding to them, so that we're not withdrawing all the money. We're still going to fund them in a small amount. But we did say that if we fund them, we would like the county to also provide some funding as well. So we've had conversations with the county and what it looks like for them, and they have some things that are of importance to them as well to provide that funding. So we're all just trying to work together on that.
Sure. So I guess, Mr. Mayor, all of this kind of comes on the heels of, I shouldn't say on the heels of, with the future event of the celebration of Route 66, and it's the 100th anniversary, right?
Yeah, it's the centennial celebration in 2026.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's one of our driving factors is we just haven't been prepared for that. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity that we are going to miss out on if we don't do something. So that is part of the reason why we're making the push we are. The other reason is because we think that something new and exciting could also help grow Lincoln tourism, help spur some economic development in our community as well. So they all kind of work hand in hand.
All right. Very good. Very good. Mr. Mayor, did I miss anything in that conversation you want to put out there for us or anything of that nature?
Nope.
Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, let's rather than dive into something, have to take a break, let's just go ahead and take a break now, and we'll come back with some more with Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us here for this morning. The morning show again streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. More to come with the mayor next.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Friday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. A steady start for corn and beans and Chicago wheat opening lower. July corn 431.5 down 2. September corn unchanged 429, and December corn 444.5 up half a penny. July beans opening 1076 and a quarter, up 1.5. August beans up 2 1/4, 1079. New crop November 1070 and a quarter, up 1 3/4. July wheat starting today 569 3/4, down 4.5. September wheat down 4 1/4, 585 3/4. December wheat down 4.5, 607 3/4. July bean meal 283.30, down $1.60. July bean oil 55.19, up 42 cents. Opening numbers on this Friday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Looking for a new Silverado? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. We have a good selection of new Silverado inventory. We have Silverados in 1500s, 2500s, and 3500s with several trim levels, custom, LT, RST, LTZ, and yes, even high countries. All our inventory is priced for our summer savings season. Baum Chevrolet Buick. Together, let's drive. BaumChevroletBuick.com right from the start.
Symptoms can't wait? We have the solution. CEO Paul Skowron here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. Come to our walk-in clinic inside our family medicine. No appointment, no problem. See our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom is the mayor of Lincoln, Tracy Welch, joins us today. And again, Mr. Mayor, always good to have you. And I had Sally Turner on my show the other day, in fact, yesterday, and she was chatting with me about a task force that you have started up to review and analyze the future of the LDC property. And if I'm not mistaken, some dollars from the state of Illinois to kind of transform that space. What's going on? Why the task force? And what are y'all doing?
Yeah, so if you come in on the southern corridor of Lincoln, you will have seen a very old and dilapidated property known as the Lincoln Developmental Center. That's been in our community for decades. It was closed down a very, very long time ago. Buildings are, in terrible shape. Roofs falling in, boarded up. It just looks terrible. And fortunately for us this year, Governor Pritzker put $500 million in the state budget. And that is to get sites such as ours ready for economic development and growth. And there's 5 sites throughout the state. We're one of them. So we've put a task force together to look at the property and then take a look at our community and the demographics and have a conversation about what we believe that property could be used for to help move our community forward once it gets cleared off. So first step is for the property to get remediated. Second step is for us to do some development out there.
What do you envision or what is possible on that space?
Well, a lot of things have been kicked around, and we're still going through the data analysis phase of it. But, we've talked about, and we've had community feedback, uh, things such as more housing available for people that could attract other people to the community and help grow our workforce. We've talked about carving out a small spot to continue to support our veterans tiny home program in our community. Um, I've heard things such as a VA clinic for veterans. I had somebody talk to me about a sports complex yesterday, and in the previous week, another development on that one. Warehousing, distribution. We've kind of kicked around a lot of ideas. So
now, will all that property will all those buildings be raised and everything like that?
we would like them to be. Obviously, the state's spending the money to do it, and so we've got to work through CMS and the governor's office to really drive forward with their vision as well for the property, since it is owned by the state. But we believe that the property should completely be demolished, all those buildings taken out, and get it ready like a clean slate for something in the future.
What is CMS?
Central Management Services, I believe. They're the organization or department within the state of Illinois that owns and manages the properties that the state has.
Got it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Very good. So what is the timeline on all of this? Not necessarily the property itself to have those buildings brought down and everything else, but your task force timeline. What's kind of what are some milestone dates maybe you have in mind, it has in mind? How about some of that?
Well, we've met a couple of times already. We're going to meet again in 2 weeks. And the gap there is to allow for the pulling of data and gathering of information to discuss at the next meeting. So we are going to continue to meet every other week. And I would like to have an answer back to the state of Illinois within the next 2 to 3 months as to what we're trying to do and what we would like to see out there. Obviously, we're in line with other communities, and we want to be as close to the front of the line as possible and be ready.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, I was talking to Senator Turner about this the other day. That property has just been not only unused, it's been an eyesore for many, many years. To have something go there, to have something done with that property would just be enormous.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, I actually went and for a presentation, I took a drive out there on the property and took, dozens of photos. And some of those buildings are deplorable. And most people that drive into town don't see the worst of the worst, but they do see buildings where the roofs are falling in, all the brush is overgrown, there's boards all over the windows. So, I mean, they get the general idea of the condition of that property. And there was 100 acres. IDJJ has taken approximately 25. So we think we've probably got 75 acres for development out there. That's a lot of ground to be in bad condition.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it would be great just to have something done out there, and and a lot of trees. I mean, if you're going to do, like you talked about, a sports complex of some sort, there's going to be a lot of clearing, a lot of dirt work that's going to have to go in to whatever it is you decide you're going to do.
Yep. Yeah, there's supposedly tunnels out there. I haven't seen them myself.
Ooh, how fun.
So, yeah, I mean, you got to fill in tunnels. You've got to demolish buildings and get the debris out to landfills. There's trees all over the property. There's an old power plant out there that will need to be taken down.
I'm disappointed. Yeah. I'm disappointed you want to fill in the tunnels. That's no fun.
Well, I mean, I don't know what good the tunnels will do if the buildings are gone. So,
I mean, somebody could come up with a use for them, surely. I don't know. Well, I'm just messing.
Maybe the task force will come up with a use of some tunnels. I don't know. But we'll see.
Oh no, that's interesting. I had not known that.
Yeah,
that's wild. Good stuff. Very good, Mr. Mayor. What did I miss on the task force that you wanted to put out there for us?
That's it. We're moving forward. We're trying to get that done for the city of Lincoln. I know people are pretty anxious about seeing that cleared up, and a lot more work to go. We, between that, Fifth Street Road, and the other things we've got going on, a lot of goodness going on in Lincoln. Sometimes it's just a little hard to see. So
what's new with this street?
well, we've got all of our paperwork done at the city of Lincoln. We're just waiting on some approvals from the railroad. And once we get the railroad approval, then we should be able to get on the IDOT letting schedule and start breaking ground out there.
Oh, no kidding.
So
what does that timeline look like?
Well, I mean, we're kind of at the mercy of the railroad, and they have their own timeline. But we were hoping to be going this spring, but it may look like the fall.
Okay.
So we'll just have to continue to adjust our timeline based on the factors that are influencing it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, what's kept the city council busy lately? What have you all been working on?
That's been a lot of it.
Yeah.
That some road and sidewalk projects have been going on.
What's in store for the city this summer in terms of whether it's road projects, sidewalks? What's going on in Lincoln projects wise this summer?
I mean, we got everything going on. I mean, we do roads, curbs, gutters, all of that every year. We carve out a little bit of money. Our biggest project really is Tremont Street, and that's a $1 to $2 million project that will take care of a heavily traveled road in our community.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens to have some historically significant houses on there. So we've been having to work through the historical registry to ensure that we're following all those guidelines. So a lot of stuff going on.
Where at on Tremont is that taking place, and what are you doing there?
It's between Logan Street and Union Street. It's a complete resurface.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, when we touch the surface, that means we got to touch the curbs and then all the ADA ramps and everything. So, once you touch the road, everything else is game. Is that part of the brick street that's been that is, I know, like, there's a lot of brick roads in that area. Is that one of them? I don't believe that there's brick on that particular road, at least exposed. I mean, it's in one of the older areas, and some of those adjacent streets do have bricks.
Right.
But I believe it's all a concrete surfaced road at this time, or pavement. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just to wrap us up, how is that being funded?
Well, we're funding it out of our money because to the historical piece that's tied to it has really tied our hands with our Rebuild Illinois motor fuel tax money.
Got it.
So yeah, I mean, we've had to make some adjustments. So we went ahead and we have used that money on other projects, and then we're going to use some of our money on the Tremont Street. It's basically just using a different funding source.
Got it. Sure. Mr. Mayor, I know I got to let you go. Thanks for your time. As always, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, our guest on the Zoom Network News on the way.